Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of Wicked
Mysterious.
This is Mini
Mystery
Monday.
Woohoo!
Mini Mystery number 1.
It's our very first mini mystery.
So we are going to try to do this on the off weeks so that we'll have a mystery for you every week.
So that every week you hear our voices.
Every week will be a new episode.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stories we want to share that just aren't enough for a whole episode. So here we are.
Yep.
We're going to do...
it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. So I have a story for you today.
I'm excited.
This suggestion comes from our loyal listener, Chris Fortin.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes, he's an OG listener.
Really appreciate you, man.
Yes, thank you, thank you. We do have on our link tree a submission form for mysteries or topics you'd like us to cover. So today we're going to be talking about the mysterious phenomena of staircases in the woods.
Oh, good.
It's a good one.
It is good.
So as the story goes, there are random staircases in the woods, mainly in national forests in the United States, but also in other countries. Most people think that this is just creepypasta, but it's still kind of cool. Talk of staircases in the woods began on June 16th, 2015, when WLOS News 13 out of Asheville, North Carolina, reported a staircase in the woods in Swannanoa, North Carolina.
Ooh.
Swannanoa?
So this is the very first one that was ever documented or reported?
Yeah, so there's been like a lot of research done on where this phenomena came from or where the story of it came from, because it is kind of like urban legendy because there's not really like proof. There is proof in pictures and stuff, but it's all like documented where the staircases came from, like old buildings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you can go visit them. They're all over the place. There's one in Connecticut. But it's known where it came from. It's just like old ruins, like, you know, like Waite's factory up the street. It's kind of like that. But people are reporting that they see it like way out, but there's no pictures really to prove it. So that's why it's kind of like urban legendy. So people have like looked into where the story came from. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and I read a lot about it on Reddit, and the first like talk of it was this news broadcast in 2015.
Wow. So not too long ago at all.
No. So yeah, because I didn't hear about this when I was a kid or anything.
Me either.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah. It really feels like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In a new dimension.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good theory. So in this news clip, a woman driving on Interstate 40 noticed the stairs, and instead of investigating herself, for some reason, she called the news. So I'm going to play you that clip here.
A person driving Interstate 40 in East Asheville spotted something that piqued her interest.
A mysterious stairway in the woods. And that's tonight's Ask 13. Our Frank Fraboni joins us.
And Frank, are there really stairs in the woods?
Well, Tammy, yes, there are. There really are some stairs in the woods. We followed the directions sent to us in an email, and we felt like we found the stairway to heaven. Now, Rose Jones from Black Mountain in her email said, I am just curious as to where they go and why they are in the woods as they are. It's very unusual, and you never see anyone around there. These are the stairs that she's talking about. Take a look. Got to look real close here. Just off the southern side of Interstate 40, I climbed the stairs, which led to a trail that's real close to the Blue Ridge Parkway. We got to the stairs by taking Azalea Road and then going through a tunnel underneath the highway. The tunnel leads to a gated service entrance to the Camp Cedar Cliff Day Camp in the Cove. So what are they?
Those steps are part of a parkway trail system that's now part of the Mountains to Sea trail system.
How far does that trail system run?
Well, the Mountains to Sea trail system runs statewide from the Smokies all the way to Jockey's Ridge in the eastern part of the state. About 200 miles of the Mountains to Sea trail run parallel or on top of existing parkway trails.
The Mountains to Sea Trail, or MST, is part of the state parks system. After you come off the stairs, you can continue on the MST across Azalea Road and then over a fence. Here, the trail runs adjacent to the parkway, and the entire trail is still not complete. Right now, 600 miles of the 1,000 planned for that route are open to the public. If you have a question for us, write me here at ask13@WLOS.com.
Okay, so really not that mysterious, right?
Like, I just have so many thoughts. Like you were saying, why don't you just go investigate? And she's like, I'm really curious to know where it goes. Like, why don't you just go and look?
Right.
I mean, why not do both? Why not call and go and investigate? But my question is, if you're finding that in the woods, would you climb that thing?
Yeah, because you'd have to go watch the YouTube video, but it's really just a wooden set of stairs as part of a trail. So it's not that mysterious. It's just part of a trail system.
Okay, so when you get to the top, you're on a ground?
Yeah.
So what is...
Right. So...
What's the question then? That's what I'm very confused about.
Exactly. So most people on YouTube or Reddit that like investigated this claim of this phenomenon think that this news clip is where somebody got the idea to come up with this creepypasta, this like urban legend spooky story. Or maybe it just got people talking about the real mysterious phenomena of the actual creepy staircases in the woods that aren't attached to anything. They're not part of a trail system, and they're like way out in the middle of nowhere.
So was this woman like Danie farsighted and like couldn't tell that there was a
Well, this lady, that ranger lady that they just interviewed, said that it was a new trail system that they were building. So maybe it's just like local news that has nothing better to do, and they're just like, just curious what that is, and they just decided to cover it because it's kind of cool that they have a new trail system, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Why she didn't get her body out of the car and go look is I don't know. But
so
she was on the highway,
So basically you're saying like this story, this woman calling in would be like the first of all of a sudden many stories of these staircases being seen.
Yes.
But it's not proven because there's no photos of them. Like, what about the photos we see online when we Google it? Those are just all...
So they're not like as mysterious as you think, because there's
they belong
the
to
pictures
something.
are known like old buildings, like the really creepy ones that you see that are like stone and covered in moss and stuff. Those are part of like old mills and stuff.
Yeah,
so they know the
like,
history behind them.
They could definitely pinpoint to what it was before, but like, why is it just the stairs remaining? Why isn't there any foundation remaining? Why is there...
Well, sometimes there is, like the pictures. I haven't seen any. I don't think they're probably out there, but I haven't seen any that are just stairs.
So it's just a phenomena that
2 months later. Hold on.
Okay. Like, so shorten this mystery.
No, it's not that short. So just 2 months later, on August 26, 2015, a Reddit user named Search and Rescue Woods posted "and no sleep" on Reddit. His post was called, "I'm a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service, and I have some stories to tell." So for those that aren't familiar with r/no sleep, it's a Reddit forum dedicated to sharing creepy personal stories. It's incredibly popular with 17.4 million Redditors in the community.
I had never heard of it before.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. I've seen it before in I've heard about it in other podcasts and stuff.
Okay.
People get stories from there all the time. So it's pretty popular. But he discusses some strange events revolving around his experience in a search and rescue unit. His last post says, quote, "This is the last one I'll tell, and it's probably the weirdest story I have. Now, I don't know if this is true in every SAR unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken, regular thing we run into." You can try asking about it with other SAR officers, but even if they know what you're talking about, they probably won't say anything about it. We've been told not to talk about it by our superiors, and at this point, we've all gotten so used to it that it doesn't even seem weird anymore. On just about every case, when we're really far into the wilderness, I'm talking 30 or 40 miles, at some point we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like if you took the stairs in your house, cut them out, and put them in the forest. I asked about it the very first time I saw one, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. Everyone asked the same thing. I wanted to go check them out, but I was told very emphatically that I should never go near any of them. I just sort of ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently. In a follow-up post on r/no sleep, he goes further into detail about staircases. He explains that they come in a wide array of styles and sizes. Some are metal, some are spiral, others are wood, moss covered, etc. He also discusses that some look brand new and others are old. He states that during training he received a call about a 4-year-old boy. Luckily the boy was found, but during their search he came upon a staircase. The way he explained it was that it was like he was in a video game and the staircase generated, but the rest of the game glitched and the house failed to load. He was extremely curious about the staircase and his superior told him to get used to it. They see them all the time.
Wow.
He wanted to climb the staircase, but she grabbed his arm and told him not to. He wanted to ask more questions, but was shut down. And he decided to stay quiet because he was still in training and didn't want to ask too many questions. She told him not to climb the staircases or ever go near them.
Okay. So the theory's like that they come and like generate into thin air, basically.
I guess.
That would make sense to me.
Nobody's like seen them generate, but they like do generate and like nothing else does.
Because
though.
I'm sure there's hikers that hike all the time and it's not there and then it is there, right? Is that
so there's more because there's like a team of researchers that found one. But this guy, he states that he sees stairs in about 20% of all search and rescue operations, so about every 5th call.
Wow.
They're usually in dense forest, 30 or 40 miles out. The biggest staircase he's ever seen looked like it came off a mansion. It was 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide. And he states now that when he trains people and they ask him about them, he just gives the same response to ignore them and not go up them because he doesn't know what else to say.
I would say the same shit. I wouldn't climb those stairs. You wouldn't catch me climbing them.
I probably would.
That's crazy. You don't know what's going to happen at the top of those stairs.
I know. Aside from this Reddit user, there are a lot of firsthand accounts of people hearing blood-curdling screams when they reach the top of the staircase.
There you go. Perfect place for you to go.
Yeah. And the feeling of being unwelcome and feeling like they're being watched. And some people even report being touched. One park ranger reported that he climbed one of the staircases and at the top he reached out to a branch for balance and his hand was severed off.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
See? That's why you really have to be precautious. That's a word.
You can be cautious and precautious. Like you have
guess
to be
so.
like
You have to-
extra cautious
Exactly.
before you're cautious.
Prior,
Yes,
right.
exactly. I knew what you meant.
Oh, good. Because I
We
didn't.
speak the same language.
I think I'm thinking of like precautions, like take precautions.
Yes.
I could have
It
used
sounded
it,
right.
You know, yeah, I could have said you just need to take precautions instead of you have to be precautious.
It's okay. We're tired. We've had a
I'm
rough
so tired.
freaking few weeks, both of us. Well, you more than me, but I'm tired, so I can only imagine how tired you're tired.
Yeah, we're real tired.
How tired you're tired.
Together, we're real tired. All right.
Okay. So in the 40s, a team of CDC researchers were in the woods for some reason. I don't know why. And came upon a staircase.
Okay.
They noticed that the staircase was emitting a frequency. A researcher said, quote, in the next 2 days, the staircase reappeared about 50 meters away. They decided to do some readings and tried to sample part of the staircase, but the wood structure staircase was harder than steel. None of it could be chipped for sampling.
Wow. So it's an alien staircase, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're dropping them there and they're just hoping that humans are dumb enough to climb up to the top.
Maybe.
And then once they do, they're like, their beam comes through the air.
Wasn't there some kind of like meme thing going around or some kind of like weird story about like doorways in the woods? Did you ever see that? And it was like, never go through a doorway you find in the woods. It was like the same thing. And they said it was fairies or something.
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm really jogging my memory.
Yeah, I think that was even before this. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
So theories. Some people think that these staircases are exaggerated versions of hunters' stairs or ladders, which are not as big as actual staircases. And that would explain why they're like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Because think about it. You're at the very, very top of this wicked, and then you see some animal, right?
Yeah.
And you shoot them. and they run because they're still alive with an arrow through them, and
Yeah.
and you gotta follow them.
Yeah.
You're gonna run down all those stairs, like 50 stairs
Yeah,
to get
that's
down,
true.
and then run to the
That's
injured
true.
animal. Like,
Well,
yeah.
they do use, hunters do use like ladders,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
they
know.
do sit in trees and shit.
I don't know enough about hunting, nor do I want to.
Same. So I should have not even spoke on this
No,
matter.
no, it's all right. It's all right. You're right though, because like,
Like, I just picture if it's got to be a quick thing, it would be not,
Yeah.
not 25 stairs to run down.
and if staircases in the woods are real, which I don't really lean one way or the other on this, but I think it leads to a bigger question, which is what the fuck is going on in our national parks?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's an entire
yeah.
separate episode that we
Yeah.
should do.
Probably a multi-parter.
Yeah. There's a documentary called Missing 411, which is all about missing people in national parks and forests. I haven't watched it because it involves a lot of children, and I just can't bear to watch that. And I'm not going to feed that tulpa. No, thank you. But just playing devil's advocate, if it is true that there are stairs out there, are they to other dimensions?
Probably.
And so does that mean that national parks are protected because they can't let people know that there are areas of anomaly? So is it protected and allowed to stay uninhabited wilderness so that less people access it? Because that would be kind of smart, right? It's not like Area 51 where they can restrict access. So they just kind of say nothing and assume most people won't venture that deep into the wilderness, especially not off trail. So kind of like a hiding in plain sight kind of thing.
Yes, maybe in the wee hours of dawn, a magical door opens and Bigfoot walks down the stairs
Right.
and comes into our dimension.
Right?
Hunts some fish,
Yeah.
and then goes back.
Yeah.
It's fucking possible.
It is possible.
It's my theory.
When I was a kid, well, like when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I read this book called Singularity. Here I go with the books again. But it was about these twin brothers and their like grandfather or uncle dies or something. And they go to his house and he's got this like shed. And inside the shed is like a gravity anomaly. Like there's no gravity in the shed. And it's stuck in my head because I'm always like, what if there are areas like that? And
Yes.
just maybe not even gravity, but like
Yes.
dimension slips.
Right. That's why that video of the Bernstein Bears book, I know we talked about it and you guys were like, it's fake. But like, what if your bedroom was a different dimension than your living room? Like,
Right.
what if the cutoff was right there? You know what I mean? And when you walked through that door, like that fascinates me, just the idea.
And I saw a meme the other day that was like, we're all living in parallel dimensions of each other because we never will have each other's
Yeah.
perspective or
That
experiences.
was mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's so cool to think about, right?
Yeah.
Which is way, way off topic than this.
Yeah.
But I still think it's interesting.
It is.
That's my biggest fear is somebody I know like dimension slipping and they're just poof gone.
Gone.
Like that girl we're gonna cover in that episode who like somehow woke
so
up
many
in another.
missing people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
No
many.
thanks.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Intriguing, but don't like it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. That was our first mini
That's
mystery.
our first mini mystery.
Mini Mystery
anything
Monday.
to add?
I just hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you love our little it's kind of like we're just giving you a little something to hold you over.
Yeah.
Because the every 2 week thing.
Yeah, we know you can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So
All right. So we will see you next week.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Stay mysterious.